I'm catfishing America. You just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America, 'cause I was born to fish. The Tennessee River, the Mississippi mud, there's no other place that I wish I was. Ohio River, Pickwick Lake, the rest of the world's gonna have to wait while I'm catfishing America. You just don't get better than this.
This time on Catfishing America, we're going to the great state of South Carolina to fish the world-famous Santee Cooper Lakes. You know, the Santee Cooper Lakes is actually a collection of two lakes. The locals there refer to it as the Upper Lake, being Lake Marion, which is a 100,500-acre lake that was flooded without having those big cypress trees cut down first. So be careful when you're fishing up there. You're definitely going to want to use a guide. Then the lower lake, Lake Moultrie, 60,000-acre lake, more round in shape, and a lot more deep water awaits you here. There's some giant fish down here in the lower lake, and I'm going to tell you what, our guide, Captain Craig Weaver, specializes on some monster casts down here on this lake. I'm going to be staying at Hills Landing, which is located in the diversion canal between the two lakes, so regardless of which lake me and Craig want to get out on, we can go from Hills Landing. They got cabins, they got a great restaurant, a gift shop. You need to check out Hills before you come down here to Santee. Captain Craig and I are going to be venturing out here on both of these lakes, trying to bring you the best in catfishing action. I've known Craig for years, and he's going to be teaching you the world-famous drift fishing technique that he employs here on Santee Cooper. So when I come back, I'll introduce you to Craig. We'll find out the gear, the rods, the techniques, the tactics we're going to be using here on Santee Cooper to show you some big cat action. Well, here he is, the big cat daddy from Cincinnati, Captain Craig Weaver. You know, Craig, as many times I've been down here and as many great days I've had on the water with you, never cease to amaze me, regardless of how bad conditions might be, we always get in the fish. What do you got in store for us this time?
Well, as we've talked, it's very hot. The fish seem to be wanting to hold in about 25, 30 foot of water. But what they're doing, instead of just being on a flat of 25 to 30 foot of water, they're getting in old creek channels, under ledges of a cliff.
Wow.
And we're going to have to drag along these creek beds and these cliffs and drops and sheer drops and that to pick these fish up. They're wanting to change depths, whether it be for temperature, bait, whatever the reason. And they're using more structure right now. And I believe that the bait's probably using more structure. Everything's using a little more structure right now, and probably due to this heat and that. But I think we can get in some pretty heavy stuff here and drag out a couple fish.
You know what's next? Captain Craig's going to show us his bait selection and what he's chose for us for tonight and how we're going to be fishing.
I'm catfishing America. You just don't get.
Today we're going to be using gizzard shad fillets out here on Santee Cooper Lakes. You don't have to skin both sides. You want to leave the skin on one side. That'll make the bait stay on the hook a whole lot better. About a 6-7 inch piece is what we use. And then you'll put your hook right here in the end of it, and this will flap around a little bit as you're dragging it through the water and that. And this is just about the right size for him to come up and get a mouthful. Gizzard shad is one of the best baits there is in any bodies of water, including Santee Cooper. They're readily to get. It's not a big problem to get them. You can catch them, and most places will have them. But this bait right here, when it drags through the water, is deadly on blues.
I'm catfishing America. You just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America, 'cause I
You know, when it comes to tackle, the rod of choice for me was designed by Randy Harris over at Black and Blue Tackle. It's a custom rod just for catfishing. And he consulted with some great friends of mine that I know you've seen or heard of. Captain Hugh Self, former state record holder up on the James River, and his brother Bobby. That took care of the riverside where we had a lot of current and stuff to deal with on rivers. Then he consulted Captain Craig, which we're going to be fishing with today, to find out what kind of a rod is suitable for drift fishing or even his specialty, pulling up them big monster flatheads. And he came up with a Catfishing America rod. And you know, this rod is an 8-foot rod, and I'll just kind of go through a few of the features. It's got a gimbal mount at the butt, and this is to slide into appropriate rod holders to let it lock into place so it won't shift from left to right. We've got a foam grip so that when you're cutting bait, you don't get blood on cork and it turns black and it already looks like an old rod. I'm using a bait casting reel with 40-pound test mono on a Fuji reel seat, followed up by one that looks like a pool cue here. As far as the butt strength of this rod, looks just like a pool cue. Then it tapers off, of course, the Catfishing America logo. Then we've got stainless steel guides. Now, the reason I like stainless steel guides, used them for years, Captain Craig turned me on to these. Anytime that you've got a boat laying around on the floor of your boat, I know you stepped on it. Be honest now, come on. Yeah, you stepped on it. What happens to those little plastic inserts? Boink, they're gone. Now all of a sudden you need to take it somewhere and have it repaired. Not with stainless steel eyes. These stainless steel eyes, perfectly lined up. These are individually placed by Randy Harris. He'll actually put the tip on the rod, put it under stress, and then decide where to place the eyelets based on the different bend points in the rod, as opposed to, well, let's just make them exactly this many inches. Each blank is treated individually, and that's what I like about it. Again, it's an 8-foot rod. Makes it easy to get the rod out away from the boat if you're doing drift fishing or straight down suspendo fishing. And it makes it good for getting a lot of good leverage on some of these big flatheads that Craig keeps putting me in front of. Then as far as the rig, now this rig was first taught to me by Craig probably about 7 years ago, and this is his Santee Cooper drift rig. This is the main line from the rod, and what he's done is he's attached a little barrel swivel, a little snap swivel, and this is just free to move on the line. And look at this very unusual weight. Basically, they call this a slinky here. And you could look at this as maybe a boot lace that's got some shotgun pellets on the inside and sealed. And this just crawls up and down over top of structure and very difficult to snag up. You almost have to try to do it. Then he has a barrel swivel here that stops the action of this slinky. And then anywhere from 2 feet all the way to 4 feet, maybe even 5 or 6. Craig hasn't quite let me in on all his secrets, but somewhere in that range, and it's got a lot to do with conditions, wind conditions, etc., the depth he's going to be fishing, and maybe where he's marking fish up off the bottom. Finally, there's a float, and this can also vary, and I haven't pried that wisdom from him yet either, but on occasion he likes this about 6 to 8 inches, and then other times he might have this halfway up this big leader. And what this does is, as the slinky weight drags along the bottom, this floats your bait up off of harm's way. So it's going over top of the structure. And boy, does it get hammered. I've been out with Craig sometimes, and the fish even eat the bobber. That's amazing. I said, why don't you put a hook on that? He says, don't put it past me. So, I mean, great rig, great rig. I've had some great memories fishing this rig with Craig. And I know if you try this rig on your lake, you just might have some of those special memories too. All right. Got another one going here. There he is.
We got a fish.
Wow, nice fish. Look at that, Craig. Well, there he is. He, she, whoever. And got it all out of the net. Just gave me that little complimentary grunt. Let me know that, hey, man, you know, thanks for getting me up off the floor, I guess. But real fun fish to catch out here drift fishing. All right, buddy, there we go. Get you as low as I can, let you slide right on in. I'll grab it.
You see your line?
Yeah, I've got the fish right here.
There he goes.
There we are.
Another little fella.
Oh, we got a little bit of hole there.
There's a lot to avoid, man, between all the drift socks and,
Yeah.
you know, wiggling fish, and, you know.
Did you do that?
Yep.
Pretty one, man.
Yeah.
You know, that same fish, believe it or not, Eric, I bet you 20 years from now, you and me both couldn't live. You know what I mean? Same fish.
Well, that's true.
The way they eat here.
Boy, their stomachs are really full. This one here's just about plumped right out. I don't know if he could get any more in him.
Well, Craig told me that all the blues get drive-through or delivery. What was it? Both of them. Here,
Drive-through?
Drive-through, delivery, yeah. Yeah, you might as well let him go.
Well, we're going to turn this one loose.
Yeah, yeah.
Grow up.
Good deal.
I think I just heard him say something. Yep, he just said something about Randy.
Something about
He'd like for Randy to catch him next time. Here we go.
When he's a state record, I'm sure, right?
I'm catfishing America.
Hey cat anglers, to learn tips and techniques that'll help you catch those big cats, join us on the Cabela's King Cat Trail, where you have a chance to win big bucks and improve your catfishing skills. Give us a call or visit us on the web to obtain more information.
All right.
All right, Eric. He's staying down, isn't he?
Yeah, he's staying down pretty good now. He's trying to cut back towards the boat.
I know he's got this other line. I'm gonna just hold this off to the side.
Okay, Craig.
Okay.
Keep it out of the way.
Wind that thing. He'll bring him in. There you go, right there.
Yep.
Ooh, nice
He's
one.
on
Nice.
top.
Hi.
Yeah, nice one. Look at the length on this guy, man. What's this thing, about 38, 39 inches? Man, look how long this thing is. Holy, you know, this is the kind of a shape or the kind of a build it's gonna take to build a big fish. If you don't have that basic bone structure, this could never be a big fish. This is already a long fish. Doesn't have one of them giant, massive guts yet at this point, but he's working on it, I'm sure. Wow.
That's a pretty nice one, buddy.
Yeah.
That's a pretty
Thank
one.
Look, he's got a lot of nice length on him there.
Yep.
Nice wide head.
Long fish, too.
Yeah.
Now, Craig, isn't this the kind of a frame that you gotta have if you're gonna be a monster fish?
You're right. I mean, you can tell some of the fish that will get to this size, but they're not going to get much bigger. They'll start slimming down. They're not wide through here.
Sure.
They're not dropping their gut down.
Right.
And they're just not going to be real big fish. It's the gene that they're from and that. This here, he's on his way to be a good trophy fish for somebody.
Yeah, buddy.
Not that there's anything wrong with him today.
Yeah, he's already.
I know you're used to catching them 2-pounders, but this will do for now on.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Let's get
We're
him on
going to
in.
turn him loose.
Big fish. What do you think, Craig? 30s?
28, 30 pounds.
Yeah, buddy. He feels good, Craig.
That's good.
He feels good.
That was a gizzard.
Feels like a catfish, man. What do you think?
Well, hopefully, since that's what we're out here doing. As long as it's not a crocagator.
Well, he's staying down.
Yeah?
That's a good sign. I believe he's more than 10. I got a psychic feeling.
Well, you're reeling him in nice and slow.
And he's staying down nice.
Yeah, he ain't made a big run on you, though.
He's being nice and cooperative.
Yeah.
There he is. Oh, it's a fat fish. Look at that. That's a fat fish. Holy cow. Like he needed another meal.
Oh, yeah.
This guy needed to eat? Are you kidding me? What a hog, man. Like this guy needed to eat another meal. Holy cow. That is a pretty one.
What's good about it is he's going to get to eat another meal.
You got that right. Let's get him out of this net, we say.
Okay, you tell me when you're ready.
Get it there. Get it around that
You
tail.
got the net with your right hand.
All right. We cleared yet? There
Yeah.
we go. Holy smokes. Yeah. Nice fish. Now this is one of them in the 30s, Craig.
Yeah.
This is one of them in the 30s. And I'm gonna try to turn sideways, let you guys see the gut and the girth on this pretty gal. And I'm saying gal only because it's got that smaller mouth, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
You know, giant girth. It's not that the head's small, you can see the head, good sized head, but males tend to be all head. And this is just a thick fish all the way back. I can't hardly reach around the base of the tail. Real good length on it. She's got some water coming out of her gills there. Still nice and hydrated.
Oh,
you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna
She's
keep
in
her out
good
of hole.
shape. You reeled her in slow
And this, let me just set her down here, nice and peaceful like.
watch your leg.
This is a fish that hit gizzard once again, right?
Yeah.
Gizzard shad, and that's been the trend so far. Gizzard shad, and I think once again, Craig's got us working these drops. Am I right?
Yeah, we're on the side of the hill off of deep water right now.
The side of the hill, and we were just kind of sitting there talking off camera, talking about where do we think the next big fish will come from. And Craig was talking about, well, man, the sides of these hills, it's hard to beat. You know, the side, you know, a lot of them will associate to to these drops. And I said, well, how close are we to one? He says, well, we're right about, and then the rod, the rod goes down. I'm like, okay, oh, yeah, okay, must be there. Okay,
Close
good
enough.
deal. Close enough. But I mean, I'm just real impressed with a fish like this. You know, hitting that gizzard, real nice girth to this fish. Real impressive fish, Craig. Anybody would love to come down here and catch a big hog like this. Nice fish, Craig. I'm not gonna keep her out very much longer.
No,
I'm
she's
gonna,
starting to dry a little
yeah,
bit.
let me get up and get her over here to the side. Oh.
Woo! Gone. See ya.
You know, I need to go to one of them Captain Craig, you know, workout schools before I come down here, man. He's got me going now, man. Every time we hit one of these sides of these hills that he keeps talking about, boom, bam, wham, you know. Fish like that, I'll tell you what, I come down here, I catch those every day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving these kind of fish. So, you know, we're going to put what kind of bait back on? Do you remember?
Gizzard shad.
Go, don't tell them, don't tell them. We're going to put the gizzard shad back on. We're going to keep working the sides of these hills. I got a feeling we're going to show you something else with whiskers on it before too much longer. See you in a minute. We got a double going here. Craig's got one that he's getting close with, and it looks nice. And then I got one in my hand. So Craig, I'm gonna have to work some magic.
You go ahead and stay out to the left.
Okay. Well, you got a nice one there, Craig. I'll stay off on this side. Well, we just released the fish. I mean, 5 minutes ago we were saying, hey, that's a good sign. And then we got this one. You want me in the middle now, Craig? We got a gap in the drift socks.
No, come on around it. Can you make it around it?
I don't know. Let's see how the drift socks sticking
Yeah,
up.
come on into the middle. Watch the fish. I've got another line. Okay, yeah, if you can go that way, go that way. We already got a mess up in here. Flathead.
He's a smiley fish. Woo! Can you get him in? Oh, look at that. Hello, big old flathead. That's what I'm talking about. Big old monster flathead, Craig. My man, baby, my man. You know, Craig is
and got
always
two of them on at the same time.
a double. And look at the size of this big old fat flathead.
Where'd them pliers go?
This isn't one of them little anorexic flatheads either. This is one of them big fat ones. Well, let me find some pliers so I can show you guys this fish.
Here's a Santee Cooper double.
You got that right. Big old flathead. I know he's pushing 40s. And Mr. Blue. So I thought I would hold on to the blue because I'm looking for that big old blue this time, Craig. Craig put me on the flathead of my life a couple trips back, and you know, I think it's good luck when the guide grabs a hold of that big old flathead and kind of bonds with him, you know what I mean? Well, give us some more of them, you know. And he hit cut bait, right?
Yeah.
Gizzard shad has been popping on these, you know, a big old flathead on cut bait. So, hey, we definitely want to get this guy back in.
Oh, yeah.
I want a fish like this to beat that next state record in about 10 years. So, we're not going to take much time. We're going to go ahead and get him back in. Big old flathead. All right, let's get him back in, Craig.
Okay.
Hoo-yah!
I'm letting you have it.
Okay, go ahead. Woo! Well, sound like a meteor hitting, Craig. Man, holy cow.
Sound like a truck just fell on the lake.
You know, we have caught the last 3 fish in the last, what, 10 minutes?
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you got us on the drift from I don't know where, from Idaho or something. So if you're sitting on a couch somewhere and you're saying, I wonder where I should take the wife and kids on a great fishing extravaganza, I tell you what, Craig might have a date open for you. Take a look at that number at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to tell you what, give Craig a call. You need to get here to Santee. This is just a sampling of someone in that. He's got more fish stories than you can possibly imagine. You know, he's been doing this forever. He's tying in some of these big fish. It's crazy. And this is just a little sampling. He's had me on big fish for the last 7, 8 years that I've known him. And I'm going to tell you, there's a reason that I keep coming back. And there's a reason that I wanted him with us on Catfishing America.
All right.
Isn't it obvious? Fantastic.
There you go.
Usually we'll go out for a few hours, have a blast, and, you know, just focus on some monster or something. This time, everything we got was basically a quality fish, Craig.
All right, right.
You know, when a game plan comes together, I'm going to tell you what, it comes together well. And, you know, just like you were setting off in the beginning, working the slope like that, it worked out perfect. I'm going to tell you what, that's what it took. So, Craig, I can't thank you enough. I've really enjoyed it. And you know what? You need to call the number at the bottom of the screen right now, because I got a feeling Craig will find a date for you, and you come out here and have some of the fun we had getting these big Santee Cooper cats. So for Catfishing America, I'm Don Sweet, and we'll see you next time out on the water, chasing them whiskers.
Tennessee River, the Mississippi mud, there's no other place that I wish I was. Ohio River or Barkley Lake, the rest of the world's gonna have to wait while I'm catfishing America. It just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America, 'cause I was born to fish. I'm catfishing America. You just don't get better than this. I'm catfishing America. You just don't get